Brothers, honoured to be back on the mic on the Rising Kings pod for another week in the seat. With me, the host, Ben Salkeld, founder and director of Rising Kings. Now, brothers, I've been thinking about this over the past week. How do I make this podcast better? Like, what is it that I'm actually trying to do here, the intention behind it? And how do I make it connect more with the listeners and give you guys more value, insight, like what you're actually here to get? And so it really helped me uncover a area for today's discussion, like actually just going through this whole process. And the way I want to position is this, man. Like if you're a pretty ambitious guy, yeah, like you feel time poor, maybe you're super productive and you're really trying to understand, like, how do I better balance this notion of business, family, and health? Well, that's what I'm going to go through today. And it's taken me a long time to actually understand this principle or this concept that I want to share with you. Because, for pretty much the past decade and prior to that, like my whole life really revolved around how do I get more done? Like my belief underneath was if I got more stuff done, I would be more successful. And so it really, had me over those past, like I said, 10 to 15 to 20 years, like really just focusing in on this notion of productivity. And I invested a lot of time, money, energy into books, courses, programs, workshops, like you name it, man. Like if it was around productivity and teaching you how to get more done, like I was the guy that was doing it. And the beauty of it is like, it fucking worked, man. Like I became a productivity machine. And, the guys who know me know I'm one of those guys that can literally grind with the best, short of some of the guys, like a Goggins and that are out there. And shout out to Goggins, mate, who can push it further than anyone else. But I'm good at grinding, man. Like I can get laser focused. I can get into these really productive modalities and just nail it. But the thing was this, man, like here I was spending all this time, effort and energy on this notion of being more productive, thinking that, dude, if I just get more done, I'm going to be more successful. I'm going to create this life that I desire to have. And then it was during one of these productivity workshops that I did, which was actually overseas at the time. And it was run by a man by the name of Michael Burnoff. And so it was this notion of productivity, but centered around it, which I was unaware of at the time, was this notion of personal development. And so during this program, where I was learning about, like I'm there to get more done, man. Like if I could get more done, I'm going to be more successful. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to have better results, all that sort of stuff. Now, through this, what came up was this giant misunderstanding that in hindsight, man, this thing nearly cost me my marriage, like my family, my fulfillment. And so what I realized was that there's actually a better, a smarter, a more effective way to create the results that we desire. And it was this: that better questions create better performance, that create better results. And it's this piece around better questions. And that's what I'm alluding to here. That's what I'm trying to get across in my clumsy way through the pod is by asking better questions, you create better results. And that's what I was stating on this past week as I've been thinking about the pod and Rising Kings and all these things that just I don't stop thinking about. I unpacked and I recognize like I just get better at asking better questions. And so, to put into context, when I first came across this during the productivity program that was run by Michael Burnoff, as I said, man, like I was there trying to figure out like how do I be more productive so I can get more done so I can make more money. Through this program, he actually pushed this question. He said, I just want you for the next, I think it was 3 days, for the next 3 days, ask yourself this question over and over and over again. If you had $10 million in the bank, would it solve the current pain or problem you're feeling right now? And dude, I remember when the question was posed, like I just laughed. Like I was thinking like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Like I paid all this money to come along to this productivity program and you're asking the most obvious questions. Like, of course having $10 million in my bank would solve the fucking problem. Of course having $10 million in the bank would make me feel better about where I was in life. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just, hey, just ask when things are going well or when you're doing business, etc. He's like, ask these questions, man, when you're in an argument with chosen one. You know, so if they're in the moment, like arguing chosen one, and then after I'm thinking like, dude, if I just had $10 million in the bank right then or right now, would it solve this current pain and this disconnect and this frustration that I'm feeling? And the answer was no. And that hit me. Not only that, I kept asking it. I'm yelling at the kids, you know, for not doing what I asked them to do. Like, go clean your teeth, get ready for bed. They're not doing it. They're not listening, etc. And then I'm running this question in the back of my mind. Like, man, dude, if you had $10 million in the bank right now, would you solve this problem? Like, would you be feeling the same anger, frustration, and annoyance that you're feeling right now? And the answer was, no, man. Like, if I had the money in the bank, nothing would actually change. I would still feel this disconnected, this frustration, this anger, this not enough. And so that's when I realized, man, like, it's not just about chasing the things you think you're trying to get. It's actually creating the time, effort, and energy to ask better questions. And it's not even like you get stuck at a stage where you're asking the wrong questions. But the truth of the matter is, man, is most of us are asking weak questions. And that's where I found myself. Like, I was asking weak questions. And so what I had to realize was that I need to ask better questions to get better answers to create better results. Even down to this point, you want to be a better dad. Brother, you ask yourself better questions. You want a better marriage, you ask yourself better questions. You want more success in business, you ask yourself better questions. And so what I want to teach you here, or what I want to share with you over these next 5, 10, 15 minutes is, how do you do that? Because it's all one thing to say, hey man, better questions. Great. What do you mean by that? Well, the thing is, if you just ask vague surface level questions, you're just going to get vague surface level answers. But if you dig deeper, man, like if you ask more specific, targeted questions, you know, you get to uncover specific insights that will help you transform your approach to everything. Now I'm talking like business strategies through to, you know, your daily routines and how you create more energy in your life. Because whether it's in your health, man, your marriage, or how you show up as a father, like asking better questions creates better performance across the board. It's going to help you become a better version of yourself to create the better results that you actually desire. And so to lock this in, like, let me share a couple of examples with you. And I thought about this. I was thinking, like, what were the questions I was asking myself back then? And what are the questions that I feel and I've heard a lot of men ask when, you know, I jump on calls with them, etc. So, you know, one of them is like the vague surface level question. It's like, oh man, how do I be a better dad? Now, when you hear this, it's like, dude, it's a common question. What's wrong with that? Dude, how do I become a better dad? It just leaves it very, very vague. Like the better question to ask is, you know, what do my kids need from me right now to feel supported, loved, and understood? So rather than like, oh, how do I be a better dad in this moment? How do I, you know, be a better dad here, there, etc. It's, you know, what do my kids actually need from me right now so that they feel loved, supported, understood, right? This means that our kids are hearing us, they're seeing us, that we're fostering this deeper connection and this support system that we're putting in place. Another really common question that is very vague is like, how can I be healthier? Whereas a better question is like, what specific habits can I start that are going to lead to long-term health? Right, so it's just instead of just the very vague, like, how do I be healthier? Which, you know, dude, like even defining health for a start, man, gets chaotic. But we've got to get very specific here. It's down to, you know, it's like, what specific habits can I start that will lead to long-term health? And it just, even as I go through this and I share these with you guys, like, I think you can see, man, it just reduces this notion of overwhelm because it reduces the amount of answers that you can actually find in order to solve the question at hand. So another one is like, you might be asking, like, why is my marriage not working? Like, why is my marriage struggling? Like a better question is, what can I do today to show my partner they are valued and loved? And again, like this, what I love about this, man, is it like this promotes accountability, proactive action. This kind of puts it on you at the end of the day to go like, it's not just like, why is my marriage struggling? It's like, what can I do, man? What can I do here to make my marriage better? Not only what can I do, like what can I do to show my partner they are valued and that they're loved? Another one that I think is really common that I used to ask myself, but it was like, how can I spend more time with my kids? Like I think a lot of us get stuck in this trap. It's just like, oh man, I just need to work less hours so I can spend more time with my kids. But dude, it's not just about how much time you spend with your kids. Yeah, it's a better question is, how can I make sure my kids feel my love every day and every moment I'm with them? And so instead of like, how am I going to find more time and just spending more time with them? It's like, how do I make sure my kids feel my love every day? And so this motivates you to be more present, more engaged with the time that you have with your children. And then the last one I just want to throw in there is like, leading back into where I was when this first started occurring was, the question I was asking is like, dude, how do I just get more done today? That was literally on my mind 24/7 from the time I was just like, oh, bro, I just got to get more done. I just got to get more done. But a better question is like, what are the key priorities that truly matter today? And at the time, bro, I didn't have that information. I wasn't clear on the priorities. The priority was be really effective and efficient and get more done. Like that was the priority, just get more done. And it took time to actually pause and think and get better at asking better questions to actually get down to, well, let's figure out what the priorities are. And so instead of how do I get more done today, let's ask ourselves the question, like, what are the key priorities that truly matter today? And so they're just a couple of examples, man. And before closing out, I just want to throw a couple of things in here around this, right? Because you might be sitting there going, yeah, I kind of do that, etc. Or maybe you don't, or maybe you think like the questions you're asking are fine. I just want to lay out a couple of things here, why I think this is such an important principle to wrap your head around if you're not already. Like this is very, very powerful if you can understand this. You see, the consequences here, man, is like when you're not clear on what you want or how to get there, you end up just spinning your wheels. Yeah, like you end up feeling stuck. You get frustrated, and that's that override that happens over and over and over again. And when we get caught like this, dude, like our personal life, like this starts to strain relationships because you're not addressing the real issue at hand. And so you find yourself caught up in this cycle of self-doubt. Why aren't I making progress? Why am I not capable of this? Why do I keep arguing with chosen one? Why am I still yelling at the kids? Why is this happening over here? Why isn't the business doing this? It's because, bro, you're not asking the better question. You're not digging in deep enough. And that's why it's so crucial, man. And when you get this, it's really like when you turn on a high beam light that will just cut through the fog, yeah, and just give you a really clear view of the road ahead so that you know not only where are you going, why are you going there, man? And even deeper, it's like, who do I need to be in order to get that? Like these are the layers of questions I think men really need to dig through. And so, a basic system that you can use in this around the questions is, I like to put it under what I call the core performance system. That's a thing we run inside Rising Kings. Now, core is an acronym that stands for C is for clarity, O is for optimization, R is for resilience, E is for engagement. And so it's really, being able to bring questions into these areas. So for example, like clarity, questions that you focus on to help you figure out what truly matters. Not just, and I'm not just talking about like what actually matters here, but it's like, why does it actually matter? In terms of optimization, questions that are going to help you do less, man, do less but better, that are going to help you be more impactful, rather than just getting more stuff done. In terms of resilience, questions that are going to help you build the accountability, that are going to help you break through fear ceilings, help you smash through belief patterns, all while holding really strong in the face of challenges. And then, E for engagement. These questions are the things that help keep you motivated and inspired, not just in day-to-day life, but I'm talking like in your marriage, man, like being inspired to make that thing work, like to make that thing hum, being, really motivated to do your life's best work wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing. And so when you incorporate these better questions into your daily life, like it's going to really help you work smarter. It's going to make every action more impactful, and it's going to move you towards living that more fulfilling, enjoyable, exciting, adventurous, connected life. Because we're not just chasing surface level stuff anymore. Like we're actually digging in, and we realize, dude, we're doing this for a particular reason. And the reason we've spent time figuring out what that is, and now we're moving towards it, and we're doing it effectively and efficiently. And so it's not about, I need more time to get more things done. It's, if anything, you get more time to think about better questions to help you get the right things done. And that's the power of it, man. And to help you with this, I want to give you my one tool around it. And that's journaling, brother. Like this stuff here that I'm talking about isn't just, hey, I just sit there and think about these questions and try and solve them in my own head 24/7. I build in the habit, the practice of this through journaling, like pen and paper. It used to be every single day spending time on this. Now it's probably every other day, man, where I'm like really digging in on a particular area that I want to get more, a deeper understanding of. And I will spend time not just trying to solve the first question that comes up and come to an answer. I'm talking about spending time there, digging in on deeper, better questions, unpacking a better question until I can find a really deep, meaningful question that if I work on that and stay on that and let that be, my guiding driver for the next, 24, 48, 36 hours, maybe it's like the next week, but just planting that seed to help me find a solution to that question, I'm a way better version of myself. And it starts with building out this habit of asking better questions. And I really think if there was one thing to take away, it's like just think of it like building a muscle, man. And it's like the more you do this, the more you gift yourself the time to think about better questions in your life, the more you're going to enjoy life, the more fulfilled you're going to be, the more excited you're going to be. And you can do it in a daily practice. And so the more you do it, the better you get at it, the better questions start to come up and the better answers start to come and better results start to come into your life. And I'm not just sharing this just from my experience. Like this is what we do inside Rising Kings. It's one of the most beautiful parts of being inside the brotherhood is the depth of questions that we're not just asking of ourselves, but we get to ask of one another. I was just thinking this week, so every Monday I run what we call the Monday Momentum Call, and the brothers and I get on there and we're just sharing like wins from the past week, but also looking at how do we make this week even better than last. And man, like the depth of questions that come out of some of these brothers as we probe one another or question one another to get even deeper and a better understanding of what sits at the heart of it is mind-blowing. And it gets me inspired and excited because I leave these things just feeling fired up and ready because I just like, man, that was such a powerful question. I can then take that away and start looking at that because I was focusing on the wrong question at hand before I came onto that call. And that's the power of this stuff, man. So I trust that serves. Ask better questions to help you create better performance that is going to help you create better results in your life. And so it's not just about how much you get done or how fast you can get it done. It's actually making the time to think about, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? How is this helping me get to wherever it is I want to get to? And figuring out the better questions that are going to help you capitalize on that, make it more effective and efficient, and laugh and have fun and enjoy the process along the way. And so thank you, brothers. Thank you for tuning in. I really trust that serves. Like I said, so these solo pods, I'm running them a bit more at the moment. I would love to get your feedback, whether you're watching this on YouTube or seeing this on Spotify or following us across the socials. I'd love to get your feedback. Like hit me back and let me know what you think about these pods, these solo pods, and if you want more of them. And the other thing too, man, is like, if you're a ambitious man out there running a business, you're looking for high levels of performance, you're wondering like, how do I really create this capacity to be able to be better in business, in my health, show up as a better father, show up as a better husband, etc. The best thing I can serve you with or support you with right now is, if you go to risingkings.com.au, is register for one of my upcoming masterclasses, the Performance Upgrade Masterclasses. And on there, I share with you, in depth more around this whole concept here, but giving you more depth and understanding around how you upgrade your performance across the board into a simple system that is effective for you. So jump over there, risingkings.com.au. Otherwise, brothers, big love to you all. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again next week. Stay strong.